Yo, this your boy Frank Nitt. And there's rules if you want to get in this Marvel Studios. Don't nobody get in this motherfucker. So rule number 1, don't pop your ass up. Don't bring no extra niggas. And you better be ready to write, direct, produce some hot shit, or you will not get in. Marvel Studios, nigga, you know what it is. Frank Nitt, let's go.
We got it locked from your block to the comic shop.
Drop a gem on son. You know I got tools, infinite.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
You now on that wavelength, time to sign in. As Dub Floyd and Claudius chime in on topics of comics, brought to expand the hip-hop connect with a gauntlet in hand. They got it locked in, they floss in the brand. The block to the comic shop, they cross and examine. Representation's famine and moved on the shelf, and the system is happy with the movement it's dealt. We don't wait for the sick to improve on the health, so we pull a Thanos, fine, I'll do it myself. And it'll come out extra clean, fresh for the fans like an extended scene. With the hip-hop and comic dimension, they activate you with gems they presentin'. Hand in the gauntlet, yes, we gon' flaunt it. Hip-hop marvels will bring you the rawness.
Yeah, so we're back in the building, episode number 8.
Ocho.
Happy holidays. Christmas is upon us.
Hope y'all got y'all shopping done.
Yeah, New Year's is upon us. We have a lot in store this coming year.
Man, 2020.
2020, season 2, Hip Hop Marvels podcast. A lot of things in store, a lot of dope guests coming through. A lot of dope topics, content.
We got the Oak City Comic Con coming up in April.
Yeah, Oak City. We have the NC Comic Con and Blurred Con.
Blurred Con. I am looking forward to Blurred Con.
Forward to that. We're going to be on those con scenes pretty heavy. Couple of panels. As we get further on into the year, we will dish out some of the info on those panels.
We got some names that's going to be on the show. We can't really tell y'all yet, but there's going to be some names on the show. Some of y'all are not going to believe that's going to be on the show.
Definitely. But yeah, it's looking to be a great year, 2020. I see a lot of dope things for us. But yeah, you could check out this episode we just did with Villains and Vinyls. Shout out to CJ. Shout out to Terrence T, a.k.a. Johnny Storm. And shout out to Quinn Melvin of the Villains and Vinyls podcast. They came through.
Shout out, fellas.
We had a dope discussion, year-end recap/review, and we gave our top 10 albums this year. Each of us, gave our top 10 albums this year. We feel, dope albums for 2019 hip-hop.
We had another DC infiltrator sneak in.
Yeah, another DC infiltrator. Yeah, and we got to come up with a name for this space we're in, man. Because
shout out to KinCee.
Yeah,
who's got it looking real official in here.
Real official. I was thinking about the bullpen. Because that, back at, in the end of the Marvel Comics back in the day, they had the bullpen bulletin.
I was yeah.
And the name, the name of the studio that they worked out of to crank out those dope titles was called the bullpen. They had the bullpen bulletins. That's one we can.
I'm cool with that. I definitely like that. We'll think of some more just so we can choose from. But I definitely like bullpen. Boy, you brought me back with that one.
Bullpen.
Right.
They got the Danger Room, which is ill. I like that. The Danger Room. Yeah, man.
We came up with the Baxter Building earlier.
Yeah, the Baxter Building was one. If you guys have any ideas on what we should name our studio, hit us up at Hip Hop Marvels on Twitter and Instagram, and hiphopmarvels@gmail.com. Let us know your thoughts on what we should be called. I'll put a post out there, and I'm looking for dope feedback. Yeah, we're willing to take all feedback to crown this space that we're recording now.
Marvel related.
No DC. We don't want the Fortress of Solitude.
Nah, we could have been did that. We could have did the Hall of Justice.
Hall of Justice. We don't want none of that. You know what I mean? And it's not a diss to DC, but we are hip hop marvels. So, yeah, man, definitely. But yeah, check out this episode once again. Give us a like, follow on Facebook, Hip Hop Marvels, all one word, at Hip Hop Marvels, Twitter and Instagram. And remember, we're on all podcast streaming apps and platforms. You can check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Intune. We're all over the place. So
many. There's no excuse that you can't reach out to us.
Exactly. So just give us a listen, comment, rate, subscribe, and we're going to get into this episode. Peace.
We got it locked from your block to the comic shop.
Okay, out there in Marveland, face front, this is Stan Lee speaking. You've probably never heard this before, so anything is liable to happen.
It's your boy Frank Nitt, and I'm telling all y'all to subscribe to the Hip Hop Marvels podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Stitcher, and more. Go get that, y'all.
Yo. It's your boy DJ Dub Floyd in the place to be, and in the place to be is DJ Dub Floyd. This is the Hip Hop Marvels podcast.
Rick 0378, the real collector.
He said the real collector. Today,
I just caught that. Okay.
Look, today we got some dope ass guests in the building. We're doing a podcast mashup of sorts. You know what I mean? To end the year out, year end recap, year end review. Overall, what we dug about this year and what we didn't dig about this year. We got 3 guests in the building. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. Good friends of ours. You know what I mean? They showed us mad love at NC Comic Con.
They put on the Contest of Champions event.
That's right, Contest of Champions.
Convo was the winner.
Yeah, Convo. Shout out to Convo. But yeah, Contest of Champions panel. Shit was dope. We had a great time. So I'm gonna let them introduce themselves.
You all loud and shit. Like,
hey. this is Terrence. It's from Villains of Vinyl podcast. This is Terrence. Okay, I'm not the collector. I was just the collector for.
You gotta put it out there.
Champions. I was collecting them C's, but you collect. Because I go by Johnny Storm anyway when I'm rapping.
Right.
You know,
Flame on.
That's right, okay. Man of Fire.
And it's your boy Quinn the Mighty. I am I'm. Would you say I'm the face of the group?
You the buzzsaw. You the wild card. You the wild card. Charlie.
And this is CJ. Just CJ, nothing else.
Watch it.
So, yeah, man.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. So, like I said, we're going to get into, our year-end recap review of this year. A lot of dope things happened this year within the world of hip-hop.
Oh, one more thing. Shout out our engineer and producer, KinCee.
Yes, that's right. KinCee's in the crib. KinCee in the house, you know what I'm saying? Doing his thing. Incognito. You know what I'm saying?
So you got to get a man, making this all happen.
Yeah, right for real. We normally do. I don't know where my head is at, but yeah, Ken.
He got the studio looking nice.
I ain't the one to be like, yo.
That's what's up. Please remember to subscribe, comment, like. We're on multiple podcast streaming apps and platforms. Remember to give us a like and a follow on Twitter. That's at Hip Hop Marvels. Instagram at Hip Hop Marvels. Facebook Hip Hop Marvels, all one word. So we're gonna get right into it, man.
Oh, tell the people about the 500.
The 500.
Oh, what's the 500?
We got 500 listeners?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Shout out. How could I forget that? Man. But yeah, shout out to all the new listeners. I got an email today saying we reached about 500 listeners. So shout out to all of you listening. We're going to continue to bring you dope content. And for the start of the new year, we're going to be kicking off with some dope interviews lined up, dope guests. Yeah, we got a lot of things in store. New intro song coming soon. You know what I mean? Shout out Lena Jackson. She's going to, lace us with a dope intro. Yeah, man. I forgot that. What I want to get into is, a lot of things happened this year in hip hop. I want y'all to give me at least one dope thing that y'all dug about this year within the world of hip hop.
One dope thing I thought about hip hop. Hip hop itself is dope, so I always think, come on.
That's a general answer.
The quality, I think for me, it's the quality of good albums this particular year. Because when I was going through to try to do, I know we'll get into it later, the top 10, I was like, man, this is hard. I got to leave some of my favorite albums just at number 11 or 12. So I think the quality of it it's been really good this year. It's a high year, I think, me personally.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree with that 100%.
That would probably be my answer too. Yeah, the quality of hip hop this year is awesome.
I guess I go to my answer because the quality. I think the quality also brought because so many folks are trying to put out good albums. My favorite part was that weekend of Rhapsody album coming out because that was such a dope album. But something what else came out the same weekend?
Well,
there was something. The weekend that Rhapsody album came out was like 5 Fridays drop. And everything was like fire.
Because you're about to get into what I was gonna say I liked about like this year was all the releases. Like the releases, like 'cause you remember every time we recorded, hey yo, you heard this is supposed to be dropping midnight, like Friday.
Right.
Oh shit. Oh well, this person right here, like he's doing an album. It's supposed to come out like 3 days from now. And it's like, man. I'm I'm barely through like 2 of the albums that just released like early on in the week.
Right.
But I like that though. I like that. There was like a lot of good selections all around. One of the most balanced years I can remember, probably like within the last, I want to say decade really, as far as like pure balance, mainstream and underground and abstract.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it was consistent. Like we had it wasn't, we had a chunk of the year where there were only like a few like albums coming out. No, it was consistent all the way through. And like usual, the summer was when everybody started dropping out.
Right. Yeah. I mean, but we had it all throughout the year. And it was dope to not have to wait till like the summer. You know what I'm saying?
Each week you had a project come out.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, sure. And you had a heavy hitter almost with every week of this year. So.
Right. And we still got a few days left in the year. And we were just talking about that outside before we came in. The Price of Fame hadn't even dropped yet. That's Sean Price and Lil Fame. Like that album, I'm waiting for that.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah, that hadn't even dropped yet, so that can't even make the list just yet. But we're gonna have to come back and revisit that.
That Royce is probably gonna drop too.
I'm waiting for that
because that Black Sabbath just
Book of Ryan is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for that too. So, what would you say your?
I think we're all pretty much in agreement as far as like the quality and the quantity as well of hip hop. Like my man just said, it's like I'm not even through 2 or 3 albums before it's like this new Joan drop.
Right. Yeah. It was so much to digest, but I mean in a good way.
The Ascension of Rhapsody was also beautiful for me. I'm biased on it, but
no, I would say the same thing. I've seen her growth. She was on old mixtapes of mine back when I was in the mixtape circuit. You know what I'm saying? I remember I was listening to Hip Hop Doctrine 3 the other day, and I'm like, I had a joint from her on there, and I'm like, damn, just the ascension, like from where she was to where she is now is just like
Cooley High days.
And the Cooley High days, yeah.
North Carolina hip hop in general
this year
has been.
I will say
Dreamville. Drop like doing the song.
Dreamville, J. Cole, you have Rhapsody, The Baby is popping off. What's the cat just got signed to Interscope from Raleigh? Then you got it. Honestly, I saw some in the news, but can't remember. But then we only talk about North Carolina's touching the battle world too, like the hip hop. Battle. Like we got Texas, like.
Yeah, we got heavy in the battle world.
So like North Carolina is a good spot right now. And shout out J Kidd's Cuzzo, producer. Atlanta, he was on Jadina's album.
Okay.
Raleigh, that's why I'm like.
Oh, that's what's up. Yeah, his album is pretty dope too. Yeah.
He's been doing it for years. I'm like, yo, that's what's up. So, North Carolina's here right now.
Yeah, so I would say overall, that was CJ. That was a good analysis on that one because overall hip hop was great this year.
Yeah.
Let me double back on that and ask, what were y'all disappointed by this year?
No Kendrick Lamar album. Okay.
Yeah.
It's been a pattern every 2 years for him, so I'm waiting.
Right.
I mean, let me ask you this: do you really think that we need a Kendrick album right now?
See,
that's a good question
That's
too.
a good question, but
I mean, I can wait till next year before another Kendrick album.
See,
that's just me though.
And to me, I can wait another year because, like we just said, like a lot of dope hip hop came out this year to kind of. Distract us from that fact. But at the same time, you got folks stepping in too, and he's on my top 10 albums this year, YB and Cordae.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He stepped in and killed it, you know what I mean? So, with
he's in my top 10 this year,
with cats like him, Rhapsody, you know what I'm saying? resurgence of Little Brother.
I think because
a lot of these
Rhapsody's resurgence and that tone and the way we're seeing Dreamville album pop off every game, that's why I want to it's that same lane like Kendrick. I'm hearing them. It's
so
about
it
time.
gave him more reason. It gave him more reason.
Because of all that, we might not need a Kendrick.
Right.
But no, like I feel like for all the good stuff that came out this year and a lot of the good talent, that's been making waves. I feel like because you can look at it throughout like the history of hip hop. For a good album to come out, from a certain artist, they have to have that period of time where they have to sit there and put it together. And usually during that little like downtime,
right,
all these other cats that come through and make a name for themselves. So when it comes out, you got albums to compare to. You gonna like as soon as Kendrick drop his album, best believe there's gonna be like a bunch of cats that you're gonna be like, all right, you just came up, but this right here compared to Kendrick's new album, oh no, y'all on the same level.
right.
We hope because I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm so sorry.
No.
I was just gonna say because Kendrick, this album, I think for the top 3 of the new school, when we think about Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole, these next albums are probably going to be their most important albums.
Yeah, exactly.
Particularly J. Cole because he went on his feature run that was legendary. So now we got to see what is he going to say? Kendrick, all right, man, you just released Damn, Pulitzer Prize winning album.
And it's like you got to follow these last bodies of work which were great. Like Cole got to follow, 2, I would say, Dreamers 3 and KOD.
Yeah.
Like Kendrick, like you say, he got to follow Damn. You know what I'm saying?
I kind of felt like TDE took the year off this year.
Outside of Schoolboy Q, and then some R&B.
Yeah, outside of Schoolboy Q and Serg.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
They kind of took the year off. That's why I think 2020 is going to be a year for them. I keep hearing about Ab Soul, but I haven't heard anything from them in a minute.
I'm waiting on that.
Disappointment for me because I love Schoolboy Q, and I don't think the album's bad, but I was disappointed in this album a little bit.
I would say so too.
It wasn't like I said. I don't think
it wasn't bad album. I think it could have been more than what it was. You know what I'm saying? Judging from his first 2, I love his first 2. His first one, was crazy.
This is my thing with Schoolboy Q though. Didn't nobody see Studio coming?
Nah.
Nobody see that song coming at all. I mean, how he was produced, and you listen to the album. That album was pretty much kind of like I won't say like an underground album, but it didn't have no radio hits. And I think when the Studio blew up like it did, these next couple of albums, he's like, okay, I got to sell. I got to
chase that, yeah.
But did this the second album, did that have any real big hits besides that part? Cause that was a grimy album. When you listen to that second album, it hit hard, like straight.
I'm still thinking he was probably still living off of Studio as well as like kind of like Kendrick was still pumping stuff out there too, and he's doing Kendrick collabs as well.
Yeah, I would say that.
That's like J-Rock with Money Trees. Didn't nobody know Money Trees is gonna blow like that.
Yeah,
and that could like people say that's a Kendrick cut, but that was really like a J-Rock
cut. Yeah,
that's one of the few times I can say Kendrick kind of got not killed, but he got bested by another rapper on his track. It's one of the few times I can say that.
Well, because J-Rock came through hitting hard with it, like with his stuff, even if it was a feature, like because we all know a few songs where when J-Rock is on there, like he definitely stands out.
Right.
Well, he was the first in TDE anyway before Kendrick.
Yeah.
You go back and look at them old. There's a lot of old mixtapes with like J-Rock featuring Lil Wayne. I went found stuff like yo, J-Rock been out for a minute.
But that's like Kendrick. I used to hear Kendrick as K-Dot on the Black Wall Street mixtapes from Game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I remember that.
I remember those Black Wall Street joints. Yeah.
And to me, that's back when Game. He rapped like a little bit different on those. I think he was experimenting with his flow then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He wasn't name dropping like that. I can respect those lyrics on those albums, you know what I'm saying?
Right, but
I think
sometimes I feel like Game is experimenting himself.
CJ, what's your disappointment this year? Like
my silly one, No Migos album, because
okay.
that's my we talk about guilty pleasures.
Right.
I mess with Migos, man.
Okay.
Like, sometimes you want to do that.
Yeah, I mean.
And then the other one is, I know we're not supposed to care about these, but they got them so right last year. I thought they were going to get them right this year. The Grammy nomination. That was
There you
my
go.
biggest.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
They got it so right last year with like Pusha T
and
Nipsey. I'm like,
yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
these make sense. I was like, Brett, no.
So,
like,
so what are some of the ones that like you were like scratching your head?
Lil Nas X for album, right? I get if you want to put the song up there because you can't. No matter what,
you can't deny that shit.
Song,
that shit is diamond. Like, it's,
but when you put him in the album category, I'm like,
has anybody heard the album?
The lack of the baby getting nominations, Meg Thee Stallion, like especially when you talking about like best new artist.
I think them two took
yeah,
it.
like how
they
how
own 2019 for like best new like hip hop artists, like Meg Thee Stallion and the baby.
The baby, as far as men, I really think more so Lizzo, honestly. As far as women,
we're talking about like just straight hip hop, like
okay,
yeah, straight hip hop.
Okay,
yeah. I mean, of course, I agree with you on that. Like we were talking in full spectrum, but
even then, she deserves a nomination. Whether she gets the win is one thing, but I think you got to talk about Meg.
Well, that's how was Rhapsody album not?
How was Rhapsody? I was going to go there.
How was Layla's Story nominated? And I love that album.
Layla's Wisdom.
Wisdom.
Well, you talking about last year was nominated, but this year Eve is not nominated. Like, how does that happen?
And Layla's Wisdom was dope. Eve to me is better, and I'm like, how was that not?
Layla's Wisdom
is dope.
I thought she was on fire. She reached her. She was at her health level.
Like, okay, so she only in her discography right now. We're not counting mixtape shit. We're talking about her like full-fledged albums. She only has 2 right now. I think.
The Eye Beautiful, I consider album.
Yeah, that's the album, ain't it?
It is. But I'm saying like
Return to Be Girl, that's a mixtape.
Well, yeah, I know. Well, I'm just saying like as far as her like like solid, like where everybody recognized as one. You know what I'm saying? Layla's Wisdom and Eve, right?
Okay.
People might not say it now, but give it a year or two, they're gonna say Layla's Wisdom is her classic, like on some real shit. Like they're gonna say that, you know, if they're not saying it now.
I'm gonna go back and compare both.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But yeah, how is that not, nominated? I'm happy for YB and Cordae though, because that album deserved that. That album is awesome. And it's a breath of fresh air, like a motherfucker.
Was Freddie Gibbs Mad Lib, was that an album or mixtape? Because that should have been nominated, but we.
The fact that it's not even.
Look, see, don't give him.
We've had this. Yeah,
don't get CJ started.
Well, there's a reason why.
I think we talked as soon as we saw the graphic. Yo, for real? Yo, you see these nominations? Yo, how? Yo. Okay, but to be fair, some of the things that are up there, I do understand.
Yeah.
Like meat championships. I
understand Tyler's shit.
And
I understand those, but I don't.
What are the nominations? Because I don't know what the nominations are. I haven't watched the in years.
Yeah, same here. Because I can't get down with it because it's always so off balance. When they put out nominations, because like y'all said,
off tops.
I watched last year because Rhapsody was nominated, so I watched last year. You know what I'm saying?
But it's just
just that category anyway.
You don't feel compelled to watch it like yearly, knowing, so and so got nominated. It's always, this person made like what I feel like is album of the year. People talking about it, and Grammys roll around. No nomination.
And see, here's the thing, because like I said, the albums that are nominated are, I understand it. Igor, Tyler the Creator, Revenge of the Dreamers 3.
Okay, that's
so I'm
live with that.
21 Savage, I Am. Meek Mill Championships, and The Lost Boy, YB and Cordae.
Okay.
And to be fair, 21 Savage album was
solid.
I would take, me personally, in 21 Savage, that's my favorite. We were talking about favorite. That's my favorite 21 Savage album and favorite album. I'll take that off. I would probably take YB and Cordae off.
No!
I'm about to put in.
Okay, what you about to put?
I gotta put in Freddie Gibbs and Mad Lib.
Okay.
So if somebody has to go, I probably would have to do YB and Cordae.
So you just substituting for that one?
And then for 21, if I'm gonna take off, that's hard. I would put Eve in, I think.
Okay.
And take 21 Savage I Am off. And I like that album. I really like that album. So I'm not even trying to...
Or even, I mean, I know how dope Igor is. I might would take it off best rap album and keep it in best album.
And then,
slide another rap
and then that way you
joint in
could
there.
keep 21 Savage. And then, you know what I'm saying? And then add, you know. But because Igor, like I said, like you said, you can add it to your list. But technically, it's more. It's a Sonic album. You know what I'm saying? It's like sonically and it's R&B, but it's Tyler. So,
but that makes it hard to judge the genre in general, though.
Exactly.
With hip hop, I mean, we're starting to expand the sound.
Yeah,
it's
and a lot of the shit that's coming out is sing-songy and you know, melodic and shit. So.
That's all about radio play, though. That's all about radio play. I was hoping, like I said, the balance is coming back a little bit, but we're not gonna hear these songs on general radio.
Right. I understand.
Well, at the end of the decade, so we're getting another shift in different experimental stuff in genre. Because you remember we had all those phases coming up. We had we had the snap music. We had we had freaking club bangers, we had strip club anthems, we had it all. Right. So I feel at a certain point in time we see that shift, and then it jumps to another thing. So with all of this, it might pan out, and we might start seeing way more lyricists. Because notice now, a bunch of the albums that have dropped, have been lyrically stronger than they have in the last couple of years.
Yeah. But I think they always gets a bad rap. I think lyricism has always been around. For the maybe not radio mainstream, and to be fair, I don't listen to the radio, so I can't even tell you what comes on the radio.
Of it in a lot of the singles that are being dropped now, and a lot of the stuff that's getting played is that there's.
I think we're coming back around to it. And it's partially due to some of the more mainstream acts putting it in. You know what I'm saying? In their projects and stuff like that. I mean, without that, it's not gonna carry to the masses because the masses are mainly. I'm talking about cats like YB and Cordae and stuff like that.
J. Cole,
they're more they're mainstream, but they're putting the medicine in with the food. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So okay. I can see that. Cole's been doing that though since he's been in.
Well, I'm talking about too, for that, like YB and Cordae. I would say Rhapsody. I would kind of. She's not new. But she's new to a lot of people. Yeah. So and she's bringing that forth too. You know what I mean as well.
Even those rap nominations, most of those people are lyrical in their own way, right? Because there's trap lyricism, which is a whole different subset.
Oh, I mean, shit, we can go on 2 Chainz.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So Meek is out there spitting, so I can see that.
Yeah.
Well, 2 Chainz and T.I. are like the exception to the rule. To me, they were already lyrically adept before they started doing the trap type music. You know what I'm saying?
I can see that.
2 Chainz, Titty Boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But they had to grow into it too, because some of these rappers, if we're being real, they just drug dealers. They found a hustle. They made one song pop.
Yeah, they can care less.
Yeah, they made one song pop, and then as they found their career, as they kept going, they're like, okay, I need to develop my craft. Like the perfect example to me is Jeezy. He was like, yo, I'm trying to do this. Yeah, because
in the beginning, you're right though. In the beginning, when this nigga first came out, this motherfucker was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm just rapping, nigga, and I'm getting paid.
Yeah,
right.
And that's it. Now this nigga is more like, I guess he been hanging around like motherfuckers like Jay and shit.
Each album you saw him lyrically, you get better.
Like saying
cadence
shit
or flow,
more and more.
Better.
So he cares about it now. But when he first came, when Boys in the Hood and shit first popped, he was on some remember it was around that time where everybody was like, I don't rap, I hustle or some shit.
I'm not a
rap, I'm a drug dealer or whatever. That whole spill, but
Blame Wayne.
You know what I'm saying?
Who's the biggest rapper of all?
He said Blame Wayne.
Yeah, I'm not a rapper, I'm a hustler. I do this, Wheezy F.
He said Wheezy F. Quinn, so what's your disappointing moment in hip hop for 2019?
I'll say this now. It's always been a thing because I love some good some good beats because I feel like that's where you see a lot of character come out of rappers you ain't even expect. And I feel like, we're getting kind of these odd little squabbles. Like, the current one right
Nick
now...
Cannon and Eminem. Nick Cannon and Eminem. Never in a million years, even back when Eminem first came out and he was dissing motherfuckers, had I thought he would beef with Nick Cannon.
I did.
Nickelodeon Cannon.
That's usually the skill of his opponent, if we being real.
There we go.
Yo,
That's what I'm glad you brought that up. There we go.
Outside of maybe cannabis, to be fair.
And that really wasn't like.
And he was getting the cannabis on his way out. That was embarrassed with the notebooks and all that stuff.
Like,
come on.
But the other part is people are scared to face him too. So there's that side too.
Right. And even with the cannabis diss though, that diss wasn't. It was more jokey than anything. Can the bitch choke? Can the bitch?
Okay.
That shit. That was more like he did the beat himself. It was on that whole wacky type
when he was first up.
Shit. Yeah.
Dub and I were talking earlier. Eminem's best disses are to his mama and his baby mama.
I don't know, man.
Who has he gone at?
Nah, never
really,
coffin, but it still knows who it was.
Lyrically adept. Who has M really gone at?
I feel like there is one person though that like he might be a little gun shy about like getting at. Because you remember him and Royce had a little spat.
Yeah,
but Royce has surpassed Eminem in my opinion as far as
That's the thing, and I feel like Royce is that one where he ain't gonna come at him again.
Nah, he ain't coming at him.
But to be fair to him, after I just dissed him, to be fair, who that is lyrically adept has really challenged him. That's the other side.
That's what I'm saying.
The people who have called him out have been people who get nailed in the coffin, you know. So I don't know.
They really haven't done anything lyrically or whatever.
Or they claim they retired. Joe Budden.
But no, let's be honest though. I'm
want that.
Look, and I'm not speaking bias because I grew up with him and we rap together and shit like that. I'm talking about. I know this nigga's pen, and if he woke that nigga Joe up, it won't be
Joe fan.
It might. They ain't gonna be easy. They ain't no walk in the park.
Easy. Joe will murder Eminem. This Eminem.
Oh, this Eminem.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm a Joe fan, so that's what I'm saying. That's why I was. When it started, I'm like, please come out of retirement. But I know how Joe is, but I don't know.
It's cool because you even saw like glimpses of with Slaughterhouse. You saw that. You saw him at his rawest.
Yeah.
But just imagine if he got to that point where he was like, you know what?
I'm coming out of retirement and see. I view Eminem as I view Eminem as Thanos in Endgame. This is after the snap. When the motherfucking gauntlet was all fucked up and they came and easily cut this nigga's head off.
That's Eminem
right now. He's still Thanos, nigga. He still got the gauntlet, but the gauntlet's just fucked up. And he's vulnerable as fuck. And he's vulnerable as fuck. That's my point. He's vulnerable now. You know what I'm saying?
Could take him now. I don't know which ones it would be, but he could get got right now.
Yeah, I don't know who it would be. And they better come. Like I said, it won't be. Even if they defeated him, it wouldn't be a walk in the park.
I'm trying to think. Could any of these young boys fuck with Eminem right now? I mean, like my man said, he's kind of like Eminem is kind of like his chill mode. Well, we know Eminem ain't got to rap ever again.
No, we know that. I mean,
to me, and that's why he's kind of slacked off a little bit. Me personally, I haven't spent any money on an Eminem album since the Marshall Mathers LP. I didn't like Relapse. I didn't like Recovery.
It has to be a rapper that's funny. And the reason why I say that, because how many times have you seen battles where rappers that are lyrically better lost because they got more clown? They got clown. Lyrical battle. Like 50 when he used to kill people, there was some on lyrical, but at the same time he would clown you too.
Nigga, this nigga dissed Ja Rule and said, "I smell pussy." Is that you heard? That shit was nigga. When I first heard that, I was
when I say that also
dying, nigga.
I mean, him had to talk. I still think Drake had the better lyrics and song, but at the same time the Drake versus Meek thing that was more so about social media. Meek lost more because of social media than actual songs. So I think that's one way. Like you said, who could beat Eminem? It has to be someone funny or someone that could control a narrative.
Savvy and with this internet shit, like Terrence was saying, and funny. Yeah, I mean, I'm not necessarily saying they have to be funny throughout the whole record.
You gotta be witty.
Yeah, you gotta be witty and throw some joints, and you gotta know. We've heard enough Eminem to kind of dissect this nigga. It's kind of like watching, when one football team goes against the other, they watch their old games and shit, and they study their plays.
People, I think, Game and 50, that can probably pull that off and do some shit like that.
What, against him?
I don't know about Game. 50 is a possibility.
50 is a possibility.
Because he knows stuff.
Yeah. But we talking about people he's close with that. I'm talking about like the ops. You know what I'm saying? Like people that.
The reason I say that, I'll put it like this, because you're about to come in left field with this one. Cause I don't even know if he could battle. I don't even know if I haven't listened enough. But if somebody who is on like a rocket ship right now, someone like the Baby right now, somebody who has a performance, who like his videos, he got people watching.
Right.
If you find out he can actually, I mean, I don't know, he got as battles serious or
I get where you're going with
coming
that.
at him because he's starting right now. How he's a performer.
It's almost
like
Eminem. It's almost reminiscent of Eminem.
Yeah,
with all
like
his
his videos, yeah.
He's
That's
dressing
right.
up in suits and
Now, I
dressing.
can imagine him in a
they're
video.
kooky and I get what you're saying. Like if he was actually lyrical,
somebody would perform. Yeah, now if
Right.
he's somebody like that too, and then you find out.
making videos, it'd be like fighting fire with fire, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? I get what you're
I don't
saying.
think you need to be lyrical to beat him. I
That's
don't
what I'm getting at,
necessarily
yeah.
think that's because I think it's about can you write one-liners that people can post to Instagram.
You right? No, look at Pusha and Drake.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say
Drake when he did that. What was that joint he dissed Pusha on? That
Duppy freestyle was
that
winning.
freestyle, that Duppy.
Duppy was winning. We had that.
That
Duppy
shit was
winning.
and he was spewing some shit.
And
Pusha
then-
came through on the simple tip. Was like, yeah, you got a son and this, that, and the third. like
Pusha,
like it wasn't super
That was
spectacular what
disrespectful.
Pusha was saying,
but it was disrespectful.
but it
though.
served its purpose and it got right to the meat and potatoes, and that's what you need to do when, like, if you're going against M, you have to get right to the source first.
Well, you know what? It's
Like-
going to have to probably take one of these battle rappers in the URL or something like that, and somebody show them
One
how
of
to
them
make a
niggas
song.
can pull it off, I think.
Show them how to make a song to like formulate it into a song.
One of them niggas can pull it off.
Must want to take one of the big three.
Right,
Big four.
Yeah, Kendrick Cole. Yeah,
Because that's the thing. They gonna
Or Drake.
Drake. I think Drake could probably pull it off too.
might be able to.
I mean,
Look, Drake is very internet and tech savvy.
Yeah.
Drake is very
He's more
internet
about
and tech
testing than you
savvy.
think he is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
Drake
very
is.
internet and tech savvy.
and he got a list of opponents that he's
You know what I'm saying?
You know, he's gone
And he can be
against.
funny too. Like we seen his SNL appearance. Like this nigga can do Cat Williams. Nigga, like you know what I'm saying?
You saw no God's video.
Yeah, you know what I
funny
mean.
as hell, like-
So we know he's witty and funny, and he's like I said, he's
That's crazy.
internet savvy.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
Drake
could pull
probably
it out.
do it.
Yeah, he could pull that off.
Probably
And no
do it.
outside looking in, somebody heard this conversation. Drake versus Eminem, you crazy. No, break it down.
Break
like we
it
just
down.
broke this down.
Yeah.
Think about this.
Yeah,
Yo.
Drake could pull that shit off.
Yeah.
He has pretty much about the same star power as this nigga.
I
like-
don't think Kendrick can do it only because Kendrick isn't funny. He's witty, but in a certain kind of way.
But
you have to
feel-
catch what he's
But
saying.
you feel like with Kendrick, like if he was to like start something with Eminem, it would kind of get real personal for him. Like because you can tell Kendrick's one of those ones where he might lose that focus. Like he might lose that zero
Right.
hand on it. Because you've heard in a couple tracks of where when he lays it down, it's just that nigga ran. Like, ran hard.
Yeah. I'm looking at it from the out, like, you know, somebody not too close to M, somebody that has a direct great shot at, you know what I'm saying, and has all the credentials.
Drake.
It's Drake.
It's Drake.
You know Eminem Eminem sings on his shit sometimes. Drake can do that too, nigga. Like what? Come on, man.
Well, you saw Drake this year was named artist of the decade.
Yeah, I mean,
how can you really argue?
You can't.
I can't.
And honestly, now you got me hyped for
You
this
know
now,
his.
'cause
You know
they're-
his.
They're the perfect foil.
Look, you know his beat selection will be awesome, nigga. Like, come on, man.
You know they both gonna be funny. You know they both Aubrey.
And he's gonna be saying some shit. This nigga's gonna be saying some lyrical shit on top of getting right to the meat potatoes like Pusha T did. I'm telling you.
Them Ghost Riders gonna be in the lab overtime. He gonna have a whole
Ghost Riders gonna be in the lab.
You said they both got teams.
Yeah, they both got teams behind them. Like,
Yeah.
solid teams. Like, back them on that.
OVO versus Shady.
Shady ain't all
Shady will wax him because you got to think about the Griselda element to Shady.
Now, and that's really what it is.
Yeah.
I didn't think Shady was all that with just Slaughterhouse, Yellow
Now, if we
Wolf.
talking teams getting involved, then Eminem got a
Yellow
better
Wolf.
shot.
Oh, yeah,
But if we
'cause,
talking toe to toe, MC for MC.
Oh, yeah, I think Drake could get him
Drake could get
now. Yeah.
Or if anything, it would bring Eminem out of this little slump he's in.
Yeah, that's one or two
if
things.
anything,
Because he hasn't really been challenged.
Nah, he hasn't.
He hasn't, but I actually think Machine Gun Kelly actually made him mad a little bit.
Well, yeah, it got a rise out of him.
Yeah,
but it ain't really.
when he came back with that kill shot, I was like, oh shit, yeah, okay. You know what I mean? So,
and they're both easy targets too, because they both Drake and Eminem got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they got a lot to fucking lose. A lot to lose. They on the same playing field.
Yeah.
They both rich as shit. Like they both like we can go to their accolades and shit. Nigga, they both won many awards and goddamn they got many plaques and
Drake
record sold.
Drake doesn't have the machine that Eminem has, but I think Drake really would have the better overall support of people behind him.
All the millennials and shit, like all these new age
the resources they got, because like y'all said, Drake has the fan base. He has that grip on social media.
Him's got it industry wise.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He will definitely.
He's got Dre, and he's got Interscope, and
because that's how he's able to just come out with with diss after diss, just right there. Somebody released a track against him, boom. He got one 2 hours later.
Right.
So you saying Eminem should battle who Nick Cannon was supposed to be?
Who Nick Cannon isn't. So
I'm saying Nick was one of the first ones. I want to be an actor, rapper, and everything. And Drake came in out of the grass and said, I got this lane. So I'm just saying. So Nick Cannon tag in Drake real quick and.
I mean, I'm not even gonna front.
I'm just saying that would be a valid battle right there. That would be a back and forth. Yeah. That would be valid, very valid.
Absolutely.
They both have the credentials to make that shit be. I'll be listening every second if that shit was to happen.
Because that's my only disappointment is that we hadn't had a legit just beef that's erupted into seeing how fucking
last year
some cats can be.
Yeah, last year we had it was the Drake and Pusha shit last year, right?
Was that last year?
Or the year before?
Yeah, because that's when Daytona came out.
Yeah, last year. Yeah,
okay.
So we had the Drake and Pusha shit last year. There wasn't really too much beefs this year. I
can't really think of any.
I really think that after the 50 Cent Ja Rule beef, I think we all really got burnt out. Because you don't remember that time period?
Yeah.
Let's really put real. After the whole Jay versus the World, not Jay versus Nas, Rockefeller versus the World, because Jay versus Nas was made a trash, but you remember it was Rockefeller versus everybody. And then after that, 50 versus Ja became 50, and then versus everybody. Mm-hmm. I think we got. In the 2000s, the late 2000s, I think we got
burnt out.
On beef. Cause then it was a lot of. It was a great point, but then it started getting with cats. I'm beefing with you, and then all the songs were whack. All right, and then it got to the point that cats were beefing. They weren't even making songs. It was just.
Yeah. That's why it was such a big thing when first when Drake went at Meek Mill, and then when the whole Drake and Pusha thing. That's why everybody was like, oh,
because these are top MCs too. These are big
what's
things.
this? You know what I'm saying?
Waking up and you was hearing, hey man, did you just catch he just dropped another diss track? Oh shit, let me listen to this. Damn, it was literally like watching the news. You was getting full coverage every day about where they were going in it.
Nobody really gone at Kendrick. Big Sean did a little bit.
That's why you exactly hit what I was about to say. That was the one I wanted to see.
Yeah.
Because they were teasing it. But then Kendrick just killed them with subliminals. And
I remember it was more underlined too, the whole Drake and Kendrick thing. And some people say he still went at him on Damn. You know what I'm saying?
Kendrick just had one of them verses where he just, I guess, letting everybody know, not necessarily, because he's supposed to be cool with all these cats, with the exception of Big Sean, apparently.
Well, not according to Control. No, we stop. That motherfucker went at everybody on that shit.
I
thought that was great, though.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I thought that was great, because he didn't do it in a disrespectful way.
That's what I'm saying. It was kind of just, hey, I'm
step up.
He was just it's more like a shout out, because if you got named, that means shit.
I would be mad if I wasn't.
You got named, he's checking for your ass.
Cats that said that they were mad that they said Lil Wayne was pissed off that he
ain't get mentioned. I'd
be pissed too. I'm like, I get what
that's the realist right there. It's no, I heard you ain't say my name,
say my name,
I was hoping to have something.
For real. So what was your disappointment for this year, Rick?
Just being serious for a second, just with all the drug rap. All the drug rap. I mean, we done went from dealers, as far as hip hop, we done went from dealers to users. And it's just, what's the man that just passed away the other day?
Juice WRLD, yeah.
Go for a bunch of damn Percocets. I'm bruh.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got to eat that time, you got to eat that time. But what was you thinking that you weren't going to die from popping? I don't know how many exactly, but apparently too damn much.
Yeah. To the point you in the cardiac arrest.
You know what I'm saying?
To escape.
They were going through security, right?
To escape the feds and shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to take my ass to jail, but I'm gonna pop
trying to
these.
die
joints.
either.
And that's the thing too, like you see so many like you know like talented cats that they fall into that, and that's what like really railroad like just a straight up legit good career that they could have had.
Right.
It's so many cats that get started in the game. Well, these young cats right now, they get started in the game and either they overdose on some bullshit or they go into prison.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Shmurda had a hit. Dude couldn't even enjoy it. He getting locked up and he's gonna be in there for a minute.
You got Kodak Black.
Kodak
in jail
Black
right now.
These guys start their career. To me, that's what slowed Kevin
Tekashi
Gates.
crazy ass.
Yeah, to me, that's what slowed Kevin Gates down. When he first got in the game, he was in and out of the joint. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's
you know,
nothing
the
new.
Migos could have got hurt by that when they first started. Be honest with you, because I think I think Offset was like locked.
He was
up
in
when
jail.
first
Yeah,
started
it was
popping.
just two of them for a while.
And then somebody else went in like when he got out. But thankfully, you know, they didn't have like no real serious time.
But to be fair to T's point, that's been going on. We've been that's a part of the genre that's
Man, we talking like weed though. These cats now are talking about popping pills.
Yeah.
But we were also talking about killing your mom and killing the kids too. So,
Right.
I mean, like
that was Eminem with that shit.
He said that was Eminem with that shit.
Wait, ho.
And I'm just saying that all the drugs we dealing, sooner or later, like we've been dealing drugs since '90s. The kids, those '90s kids are.
It wasn't no black.
So they got to rap what they got.
It wasn't no black rappers talking about killing their mom.
No, not your mom, but killing a mom.
Killing a mom.
Like killing a mom, killing the kids, tying people up, putting pool sticks up at. Like we had some. Like
goodness.
And these rappers been telling us about other substances, not as much. I give you that. It's definitely on different high. But if you go back and listen to some old stuff, you're gonna start like, oh shit, like Mobb Deep in Quiet Storm. Project Taylor, I sniff a line. What sniff a line right to get my and then DMX.
I always hear the Wu talking about smoking dust blunts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Cracks and weed combination made my eyes bleed.
It's not.
Like, come on, man.
Exactly. It's not new. It's just more. Right. The kids now have been affected. And like I said,
I mean, we wasn't doing that. We heard it, but we wasn't go. Oh, I gotta smoke me a dust blunt.
And plus, it wasn't.
Talking about it.
Plus, it wasn't. What's the word I'm looking for? It wasn't
available.
Not even that. It wasn't expressed back then as much as it is now. To the point to where kids hear that, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if they keep constantly, it's beaten to their head.
Yeah.
They going, oh, let me pop these real quick or whatever.
And especially
you know
if that's the popular music, what are the labels gonna keep signing?
Right.
And that's the thing about Juice WRLD. Juice WRLD hit me is because my girl, whatever. She been talking about Juice WRLD since he first came out, and she like, alright, something about him I don't like it. I worry about him.
Yeah.
The night before he passed away, I had just heard a new song. I forget who it is he's on the song with, but the song they said, I don't need no Molly to be savage, but when I'm on that Molly, I'm savage. And I was just like, yo!
I heard that.
For some reason, that hit me, and I'm like, okay, because I don't know some people that be on that Molly, be somebody sad, but number two is like, what happened? And then I don't know why it stuck me. And then I wake up the very next morning to Juice WRLD found dead, and I'm just like, so I definitely understand. Like, I do think it's too prevalent right now. I do understand
it's
Joyner
too
Lucas,
much in the mainstream now.
Post. I do think J. Cole's KOD was definitely prophetic right now.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
But you can't talk at these kids too, which I think a lot of people are trying to do. They're trying to like preach and come off kind of condescending, not realizing the transgressions of what we did. Like back in our day, rappers would die too. They would just be getting shot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's hard to. I don't know how you change it because a lot of rappers try to come off. And I feel like we sometimes, especially older heads, try to come off kind of like condescending to them, where you just gotta talk to them like, "Yo, man, I know what it's like. We ain't maybe do that. We did some other reckless stuff."
Yeah, I understand that, and that's why I like KOD because he mixed the medicine with the food. You know what I'm saying? And that's the approach we have to take.
Yeah.
These kids ain't trying to hear preachy. They're not trying to hear all that. You have to disguise it. If you put a dope ass beat.
I mean, like the same way that they talked to us though back then. You know what I'm saying? They weren't.
We had cats like Outkast giving us messages, preaching to us when the shit was jamming. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
see, I feel like here's the thing. There was a lot of putting the real right there into the song that we got. We got the harsh realities and like songs. Cause even my mind's playing tricks on me. Mm-hmm. Like the way they describe, like the way that song is broke down. Like it's right there.
That's about mental health, but it was groovy. They played in clubs and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But now you get these songs where it's right there in their face. Like the drug culture. it's seen as like a fantasy. It's seen as this like
you cool if you do it.
Like, because like we used to hear about, oh yeah, you know, I ran on like a couple smack heads, like in the dead in the stairwell. Like we grew up on that style of where they talked about the drug culture, but it wasn't glamorized.
Right.
You were getting some knowledge with it. Now it's just straight promoting, you know, basically substance abuse.
Yeah. One of the biggest insults is like somebody called you a crackhead, you'll take an ultimate offense to that shit. Like, nigga, I ain't no crackhead, nigga. Like,
you know what I'm saying? I ain't no sherm head.
Now, you know, you get called a pill popper, it's like, oh, that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting money and I'm popping pills. Like,
you got some? That's what
they you know what I'm saying?
They get so damn reckless with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not, to me, it's not recreational how it was with us. It's more of a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Now. That's the difference. You know, recreational use and this is all you do.
Yeah, that's...
Or this is like not 75, 80, you know, 80% of what I do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That ain't nothing but destructive.
The hell yeah.
You think there's any kids that's going to really learn from this? I'll be honest with you.
I think it's going to keep happening.
I mean, I think there'll be some. I think there'll be some people who slow down. You know, I can't say that nobody, because every time somebody dies or something.
No, more and more, adapt to the true, you know, message. And
I don't
shit,
think you're gonna slow down popping pills, because I think it's just a new drug. That's just what it is. Like, you're not gonna stop people from sniffing coke. You know, because coke has become more socially acceptable. If we really being
but back in the day, that was like for rich people. You know, that's how they got us on crack. Was because
you couldn't afford that coke. Couldn't afford to snort.
Okay, that's how we gonna get it to them. We
gonna smoke that shit. Crack. You know what I mean? We gonna smoke the rocks. We can't snort with the white.
And
white
now
coke.
I know plenty of people who, you know, sniff lines, productive people, do what they do. I don't. For the record, but you know, people do it. I mean, sometimes, you know, I think people will change. I think you'll slow down. I don't think you'll stop it though. Yeah. Because also the emotional part of the music is what appeals to these younger kids too.
Yeah, that emo rap. A lot of that emo rap.
To me, that's what's bringing them into these depressions. That shit is not helping. They may already be depressed.
And that's why to that shit even more. Yeah.
But then you
I
know,
can see that.
You add drink on top of that and pills, some shit that's not even prescribed, you know what I'm saying, to you?
We just need to have more fun in hip-hop.
Well, we've always done self-destructive things with our depression in hip-hop, though, to kind of cope with it. Like, when you look at some of the older rap songs, a lot of them were dealing with depression, but they were just dealing with it in a more violent way.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think them expressing it on the song is like what helped them as well out of that depression, is them expressing it and not necessarily being destructive.
Some
or
of
self-destructive.
So, I mean, just imagine if like they let MC Ren back on the streets. Like, if he didn't have that outlet with like NWA, he would have been out there shooting people.
Yeah, I mean, for some MCs, the music itself is therapeutic. Mm-hmm. But then you got some that still don't work, and then so they lean on this other shit, these other substances, and they abuse those. But like I said, it just needs to get to a point to where like the messages that are going out is more like mixed into the food. You know what I'm saying? Right. We can't keep like preaching. Yeah. Because everybody knows if you keep that narrative up, rebellion is soon to come after that.
Because they're young by nature and they're not going
to. Oh, we ain't doing that because they keep telling us not to. We're going to go this way.
I just think that so many young people today are just like weak-minded. We weren't that weak-minded. Our parents, some of our parents or even grandparents or other aunts and uncles preached to us. And obviously, we're still here. Not saying that we didn't make mistakes or do stupid shit along the way.
But I think they'll still be here too. Because I don't want to get into that. Because every generation,
I'm not down on them. I'm just saying like that's like my biggest disappointment when I see all these young people talented, about to really make their mark.
And just fold so early and so easily. I get what you're saying.
But every generation has those people that, and I don't want to say throw that, because I don't want to be disrespectful, but they pass prematurely. Like, we can point to many rappers that, for one, whether they couldn't get out of the street life or anything like that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Passed before their prime. So I get what you're saying. I mean, every generation has their different demons they got to face.
Yeah.
In other words.
I think it's like T also said back, or you said, I think mainly back then, they were just getting shot.
Yeah.
Not necessarily taking their own lives or doing something.
Yeah, look at Big L. Like he was subject to the streets. It wasn't necessarily drugs, but that nigga was in the streets
Yeah,
like
man.
per se. You know what I'm saying? So
And like cats like Sean Price, like that won't even like relate to anything. It's just we lost, like he lived his life and then he eventually passed.
Yeah.
But you rarely get a lot of that stuff now with like how some of these younger rappers go. I feel like T's always saying hip hop's young, but I feel like there's a point where it matures and then like it reverts back, and then it gets to that point where you see these artists like come up after a handful of them, like either one passed because of something, and then they start to build up on something from there. So I feel like it's a cycle. Like it's gonna keep going, but like you said, we just kind of have to find a way to mix that in and like make sure that we can at least still present that message to where the next generation's like, oh well, okay, like I can still do this without having to talk about like drugs.
Yeah. I mean, shit. That's a good one to go with as far as disappointment. I can agree. For me, my disappointment would be, and we talked about this a little bit earlier. Mine would be Nipsey, the death of Nipsey.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Let's not forget. I mean, I know none of us, we haven't forgot, but it seemed like it was so long ago. But that shit was just March of this year.
Definitely.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, when I got the news of that, I'm just like, for what? That was like my first like, for what?
But isn't that always a response though? You be like,
yeah, like for what? Yeah,
for what? Like this is crazy.
Yeah, so when I got that news, cause I like everyone else, like we know that nigga had so much more work to do,
right?
And so much potential, man. That his album. Phenomenal.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Victory Lap is phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? And for him to drop that body of work and it just be gone, because he dropped that late last year, right?
It was early 2018.
Early 2018.
Because it was him and then. Because I remember, because those were two albums I thought were classic. Victory Lap and then Daytona came out later that year.
Yeah. Okay, so Victory Lap. Okay,
it was January 2018, I want to say.
Okay, so
I had them in reverse too. I thought Victory Lap came out last.
I thought.
No, it came out early in the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, not knowing that, less than a year later, maybe, you know what I'm saying, that he would be gone, or maybe a little over a year. You said January, so a little
around
over
January,
a year.
February. I know it came out that first quarter of I think 2018. I want to say.
So, like, that, the fact that he's gone, you know what I mean, and I know when he first passed, there were a lot of people trying to disrespect and stuff like that. Like, Kodak Black had his things to say to Lauren London and all of that. And now you got Whack 100 saying his piece about how he doesn't feel that he's like a legend. And my opinion on that is I look at the things that he did outside of hip hop. I look at that more so than the actual hip hop that he put out. I mean, he has one great album. His life was cut short before he can produce another one. I'm sure he would have produced many more to come. But it's his work and it still has to do with the culture, but it's outside of making records. And I look at that as in a nutshell. So with all of that, plus that one album he put out that was great, classic even, you know what I'm saying? To me, and the man's not here no more, so like we're not gonna never say he was a legend. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I would consider that. So that's why I had a little issue with what he was saying, but I do get his point because he's talking about the bodies of work. You know what I'm saying? And there's a
Whack
lot.
100.
Yeah, Whack 100. He's talking about. I believe he's talking about the bodies of work, which there's a lot of artists in the game right now that people would deem not GOAT status or not legends or whatever due to their bodies of work.
I mean, that's fair. I think my rebuttal would be there are also other rappers, to him, would be that there are also other rappers who unfortunately passed that we consider legends that are unquestionable legends that don't have the same numbers of bodies of work. Right. You know what I'm saying? To use your point from someone from earlier, Big L is the one I always think about. Where if you go up to New York, there's not a New York hip hop head who wouldn't tell you Big L. For real. Is not a legend. But he doesn't necessarily have the quote unquote body of work that a legend supposedly needs. Right.
So, I think certain deaths just affected hip hop and in certain aspects pop culture overall. Obviously Biggie and Pac. I don't think Prodigy's passing would affect the West Coast or down south like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right.
At the end of the day. To me, that's what it is with Nipsey. Nipsey is revered on the West Coast, period. But he's not touching, the Midwest, East Coast, or down south like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, I think it really comes down to death. And to me, that's when it comes down to the legend status. We can think about DJ Screw in Houston. Certified legend. I'm pretty sure other DJs know who he is. Right. But along the lines as far as New York, they don't know. West Coast might know, or certain parts of California, the southern parts of California might know, that's the Texas thing. Right. But they're not going to know as far as that. Legend status, is reserved for certain people because they have a broader reach and touch. So everybody's going to say that, like I said, everybody's going to, Biggie's a legend, Pac's a legend. And when it comes to certain rappers that we like and love right now, when their unfortunate passing comes, they're going to be a legend.
Yeah.
If Wu-Tang didn't touch the people they did, wouldn't nobody say that about ODB, but the East Coast.
Right.
But Wu-Tang had a reach.
Had an impact. They was international with it. You know what I mean? So that his death affected a lot of people. But that's to me, that's one of my biggest disappointments this year. Senseless violence. You know what I mean? And then to see the shit on video. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? That shit was just crazy.
It was similar to Pac in regards to, it was a situation where this person didn't give a damn about them being a rapper.
Yeah.
Orlando Anderson didn't care about Pac being a rapper.
Yeah.
And Eric Holder didn't care about
some personal shit.
Yeah, who
like,
Nipsey was.
He looked at him as another man. Like, nigga, shit.
It was.
I'm sure a lot of it was like that. I'm sure, when that happened to Big L, like my man wasn't like, oh, this Big L. Let me think twice. Like, no.
Oh, that was some shit that his brother. Yeah, that's supposed to be like his brother hit somebody, and his brother got locked up for something totally different. He couldn't get to him. Yeah. So I'm gonna get your brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that, and that had nothing to do.
The police didn't have nothing to do with Eric Holder.
I had my I had my little theories and conspiracy theories.
Yeah, some stuff was like odd about the situation when you see the video in certain regards. Yeah. Something was definitely
that, I think a lot of people had that little, thought in the back of their mind. Something was up. But I can't put my finger on it, but something was up. You know what I mean? That's I continue to say that. You know what I mean? Do we know? No, but shit, it's unfortunate. But yeah, that's my whole thing. But on a lighter note,
let's talk about the best of the year.
The best. Okay, best. As far as what, like just broad topics or?
Nah. I'm talking about our best albums.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that, but we can get into that right now. I was going, because I had what I was gonna do was
What's up?
Because there's a lot of things outside of hip hop that have to do with like Marvel and the MCU and stuff that happened this year too. Number one being the merger of Fox and Marvel Studios. You know what I'm saying? Like that was in it was in works. Look,
we guessed.
Look, it was in works. Say what we guessed. It was in works. It was in works. It was being conjured up a lot last year, but it finally went through, and we got all these new slates of shows for Disney Plus and all this shit happened this year. So.
Man, when I found out about the Hulu deal with where they're doing, I don't know if you guys know where they're doing like the animated series for Dazzler and Tigra.
Oh yeah,
MODOK, Hit Monkey, and
Howard the Duck.
And Howard the Duck. Yeah. I didn't even know anything about that. I'm like, Marvel is just about to seriously put out some heavy content. Out there.
I'm so sick of Disney. I'm so sick.
Hey, you can't. They running it right now, man. Like I'm just anxious to see how they introduce all the newer characters. and into the universe, because especially with these shows, man.
Yeah, because they're saying they're gonna tie in. To the main MCU.
I mean, we're getting She-Hulk, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, which I'm looking forward to that show because that's a Jersey City native right there. My hometown. You know
Hawkeye.
what I mean? Hawkeye. You got Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Because my whole thing is that like they're pulling back on the Marvel television stuff now.
R.I.P. to Marvel television. That is no more. They just like disbanded that shit.
Yeah, the last things we're supposed to be getting right now are Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to finish up. And then we're getting the Cloak and Dagger Runaways crossover.
Yeah, and that's supposed to be it. And that's it for Marvel.
That's going to be a regular television?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's going to be the last season of Runaways where they're going to do the crossover, and that's going to be on Hulu. And then after that,
from that point on, Marvel Studios is handling all TV and movies, which I wanted that shit to begin with.
I wonder they're gonna put out like
and Kevin Feige is
content. I mean, television content.
Nigga.
You think they'll do that?
You asking? Yeah, I got my theories, man. Like you have it.
Hey, we gotta have the opposing. You know what I'm saying?
Because I feel like we're reaching, and this is coming from someone who loves Marvel. More of a proud DC guy, so I know I'm in enemy territory.
Another DC dude?
Yeah. So I know I'm in, but even...
Oh, man, he got to hear the rules, bro. We got to get that right. He got to hear the rules.
For comic books as a whole, DC, Marvel included, I think we're hitting a saturation point to where I think it's becoming super oversaturated. In my personal opinion. For DC and Marvel, so I'm not just...
Super oversaturated. Okay.
With like comic book content that I think... I don't know. I think the bubble's going to burst. I just don't know when. I think it's going to be sooner than a lot of people think, though.
Okay, to add to that, is that just because it's visual? Because, shit, we got a comic book store full of comics.
Oh, no, but I think...
you know what I'm saying? Like,
and to be fair, on the comic book side, I think the problem with the industry is that they put out too many... comics in and of themselves.
I was about to say the same.
Okay, I get that. I get that from the comic book.
It's way too many titles.
Yeah, I get that from the comic book stance. But I'm saying like, okay, for the newer generation, a lot of people know these characters from the visuals.
Yeah,
and they're becoming the new. That's becoming the new comic book. Let's just face it.
I get that point, and I get why Marvel and DC and all these other companies are doing it. Like it makes money sense, but I do think that once something becomes too trendy, then it begins to lose
its value.
Some of what it. And I think
I get your argument though. I
think you're going to hit a tipping point. Like for me personally, it was nice to have. I don't know for everybody else at the end game, it has this nice little break. To kind of be like, cool. I ain't got to worry about watching the other 15 movies and catching one scene in this movie that connects to this movie when this reference was made in this TV show. So it was a nice little breather. That's why I hate to bring up DC on Hip Hop Marvels, but that's why I like the Joker that was standalone. Like, because I feel like the shared universe part of it it's starting to become a little too much for me personally. Even when DC tries to do it, I'm like, it's a little bit too much for me.
Because we crew, I gotta back you up on this. Alright. So I feel like, I'm with him on the whole, it's good. It's good for them to take it slow. But with stuff like, Logan and a bunch of these other movies, it would be good to see them do something creative. Because Marvel, they have parallel universe. They have all this stuff. They have the multiverse.
Right.
Why aren't we seeing more of that? Because then that gives that gives us a little bit of a break because we get to see different iterations of the Marvel thing.
And I think that's what they're coming with all these shows and stuff. I just was telling him like a few episodes ago that they're doing like the WandaVision show, right?
Yeah.
That shit's supposed to be like a sitcom.
Yeah, I heard they're doing it like in front of a live studio audience.
Yeah, like a Leave It to Beaver type shit. Like it's supposed to be like a sitcom. And I'm like,
that one was gonna tie in with Doctor Strange.
Yeah, it's gonna tie in, and this is why it's like, okay, I'm like, all right, this is genius because I'm trying to figure out how they're gonna tie this shit in with it being like a sitcom and shit.
No, so I think as far as that, I think what's going to happen is I think they're going to get Vision some kind of way. Because if I'm not mistaken, Doctor Strange 2 comes out before WandaVision.
I think it comes out after.
So I think they're going to, whatever they're going to do as far as getting Vision, and then it's gonna go to WandaVision after that. Cause she has a starring role in Doctor Strange too.
Which I think is the most important Marvel movie in this next phase. Me
Whoa.
personally. I think Doctor Strange.
It's called the multiverse of madness, bro.
Okay.
Like that's what's gonna and that's where what you were talking about. That's where we're gonna start seeing a difference. I think I get your point. I think people want to see some different shit. We're tired of seeing the same
but
shit.
That's why, I was going to add on to his point, that's why stuff that are not DC and Marvel are winning right now. Or people want like The Boys, or there's a lot of other properties that are not Marvel and DC.
Right.
But that's a line that scares me, because I do agree. I do think we're coming on that point where, like you said, with anything that gets big, when it gets here, it's going to eventually fall. I do think what's helping sustain the comic book boom, because one, I think it's now officially its own genre, kind of like westerns or sci-fi, because it's its own thing. So I don't think it's going to ever disappear. I do think I think we're reaching the peak, and it is the
creative.
But I do think because we are going different avenues, we're watching The Boys, it's going to keep it longer.
Right. No, go ahead.
Until, like you said, until this next phase of Marvel. Like you said, Doctor Strange is the biggest thing for movies, but I also want to see the Disney shows on Marvel. The Marvel shows on Disney Plus are going to be big too. Cause if we accept it and we keep watching it, that's going to let you know how.
And that's what's going to bring us that's what's going to bring us that different shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going to I mean, because I do get your point. Like it. After Endgame, it was nice to, I invested 10 years in this shit. Oh man, let me take a breather. Like, I was watching movies. I did not want to see. I was watching movies I didn't like. I like the character because I got to see this. Connected this. Yeah, I did not want to see another like Avengers movie for a long time, and I still don't.
Yeah, I really hope they don't.
That's why I'm like glad they're breaking it off. And they're talking about forming a whole new team, which is great, because if I want to see Avengers again, I want to see some different motherfuckers. Well, you know I don't want to see the same motherfuckers.
I don't think they even need to do the Avengers again. If they got the X-Men and the Fantastic Four now, let them be the
the way they're talking, they're not going to do another one for a while. Okay. The way they're talking. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be another one for a while. And like you said, they're getting ready to introduce X-Men to us, Fantastic Four, so there's plenty of places for them to go.
They've almost figured out the formula on how to break it up. Because if DC would have known from the get-go that, all you got to do is just basically run through with, and introduce these characters one by one
organically. Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
Well, I think they knew that, but I think they were trying to play, their fatal mistake was trying to play catch-up. I think they were trying to play catch up to Marvel
too fast.
Yeah, they were trying to go too fast.
Now, but I think they found a mojo now. They like, all right, fuck it. Let's not catch up to these motherfuckers. Let's just do what the fuck we want to do. And they put out Joker. And that shit.
One-off movies is DC lane. I think that's what they need to do.
Yeah, just one-off. Just stick to those.
If they ever want to come together, then they got the multiverse, and there you go.
Right. There you go.
They have Flashpoint. That's all they need to do.
Right.
So,
I mean, they're doing that Crisis on Infinite Earths now with the crossover on TV and stuff like that. So I don't
see. That's what I don't understand. Why didn't they do it like they did on TV?
I mean, but you got to realize the TV shit was developed like long before the movie shit though.
Yeah, and like CJ said,
they had more. They had the formula.
They already had the formula.
Like CJ said, they fast tracked it. They were trying to catch up. And that's what really.
That's what it was. They were trying to catch up.
Out of that. I couldn't stand that movie.
Suicide Squad was horrible.
And you a DC head. I couldn't stand that movie. They rushed the fuck out of that.
Suicide Squad was horrible.
Yeah, that was
I saw the trailer, the original trailer. I was like, oh my god.
Batman vs Superman was supposed to be the illest shit. That shit was horrible.
I'm a Batman fan, but it had those moments where I only recognized Ben Affleck as Batman in one scene, and it was that warehouse scene.
When he came in and fucking everybody ass up in there.
And that was it. The rest of the movie was just, man, I'm gonna go get another beer.
Well, Batman vs Superman had 6 damn stories going on
at one time. That shit was just all over the place.
I thought Batman vs Superman I feel like it should have been, and it could have been dope.
Nigga,
actually, I honestly thought the whole movie should have been, honestly, even if it didn't have a villain. It's Batman vs Superman. The whole, the the terrorists trying to find the whatever. That could have been just them.
Yeah, just
the
them.
whole movie could have been just them finding that stuff, and you dealing with Batman and Superman. Then you brought in Doomsday. You brought in Wonder Woman. And you even brought the Flash in, trying to do Flashpoint. I'm like, okay, I get
they
too much at
too much
one
shit.
time.
Well, see, that was trying to set up the Justice League movie.
Yeah, and still too much.
Did that subtly though.
Yeah, you did that with them 3 Supermen and those 3 Batmen. And went like that. That's how you could.
And even like honestly, if you wanted to put Wonder Woman in Batman vs Superman, he at least had, like I said, play it out where they just meet and then had the same dinner or the nice ball. Wonder Woman comes in at the end. I am so and so. Go off.
Yeah, do what
you
they
could have
did.
made stretch that one movie to 3 fucking movies.
Do what they did with like of all the characters. Black Widow, they introduced her in Iron Man 2, and then they dragged it out
until she got her own solo shit. Don't just off the rip like. And don't get me wrong, I like Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman. That Wonder Woman movie was fire to me. I like that movie.
Really?
The Wonder Woman movie. Yeah, I like that movie. The trailer for the new one looks ill. I like the new one, the new trailer. You know what I'm saying? But like with Marvel, I think they found their lane and stuck to it, and now everything is.
But it's been 10 years. Just think about how far in advance they were planning that.
Yeah.
And the good thing about Marvel is where DC can't hide their bad movies, Marvel can kind of hide their bad movies,
right? And make up for it in a way. They made up for that fucking atrocity, Thor 2.
Yeah, okay, God.
That atrocity right there, they made up for that. Now, man, just for this new one, like, this Love and Thunder shit. I'm like, oh, I gotta see this.
Y'all forget, like, they had the Marvel Knights thing that they had been pushing for years. And then when that shit didn't work out, because Punisher, like, Warzone didn't do good, all of a sudden, it disappeared. And then you just forgot about it for, like, the next couple years.
And now this new Punisher with the, where they had the Netflix shit, now he totally trumps that shit.
But really, like, their best properties were sold out. They didn't have Fantastic Four. They didn't have X-Men. They didn't have Spider-Man.
Yeah, they were forced into the.
I mean, they did the best with what they did damn good with what they had.
Because if you think about it, Avengers probably would have been one of the last things they did. They definitely would have did X-Men way before.
Oh, hell
They definitely would have did Fantastic Four
Marvel Studios had
before.
X-Men and off the rip. Oh, we would have had X-Men.
Avengers would have been the last thing. Avengers right now would have been Phase 4. Okay, we're gonna start Avengers now.
Oh yeah,
because you think about it, like in the comic book world, the best-selling property was X-Men, nigga. Like they was at the forefront of teams in Marvel. Period.
That's why everybody was tripping when they said we're gonna start with Iron Man. Everybody's like, Iron Man
for real.
And
that's my favorite superhero. Even I was shocked. Because I've read the comic books. I'm like, oh, they gonna an Iron Man movie.
Like, I was thinking at the time.
What's the reason for this?
Yeah, I was saying at the time it's either gonna be Spider-Man or it's gonna be X-Men if they started off, like that. But I didn't realize that at first they didn't. The
properties were gone,
Spider-Man was still gone, but they had, Avengers and all that.
But this is why it's going to be interesting for Marvel, because this is the first time since Iron Man where I feel like you don't know where they're going to go.
Well, and I don't think they do either. That's why like this Disney Plus deal is happening the way it is, because they've got Marvel What If, they've got like you said, WandaVision. They got the Hawkeye show that's going to happen at some point. Falcon and like Winter Soldier. And all of these, they were just like, for the first time ever, all of this stuff is going to like be a part of the cinematic universe.
And this is why I'm more anxious now than ever. Like like you said, I don't know what the fuck they planning to do.
But that's also so exciting too.
Right.
That is exciting. Right. As a DC, even I can be like that's exciting to be
like the shit we gonna see.
Yeah,
the new characters, nigga. Like. Nigga, I'm anxious to see Moon Knight, nigga.
Yeah.
Moon Knight, like, how that shit gonna look,
Moon
bro?
Knight, I'm anxious to see myself.
Like, how is that gonna look? Moon Knight.
Because they built up that trust to where you're like, okay, I know you're gonna put out a good product, or you're gonna try your best to put out a good product. And these are characters that as all of us can agree, we've been like, it would be dope to see them. I just hope they handle it right, because it's a lot to juggle too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's a lot that you're trying to juggle.
Because I will say is we're in a good spot for like comic book material, like making the transition.
Yeah.
Because it's just like if you would have told me years ago, being a little kid, being in the Luke Cage, oh yeah, man, they gonna do a Luke Cage like show, I'd have been like,
Yeah,
Shit,
yeah.
Moon Knight, like again, like Mark Spector, like they gonna bring
the Defenders, all that.
The Marvel's answer to Batman, pretty much. Moon Knight,
If you told me,
you know what I mean?
Namor and Black Panther. If you told me Black Panther was gonna do $1 billion, I'd be like, bro, you stupid.
You stupid. Yeah, you stupid for real.
And I love Black Panther. Even I was like, come on, bro.
Yeah, that's facts.
You know what? You were talking about numbers. You know what's gonna make some real numbers? That Shang-Chi.
Oh yeah.
That Shang-Chi is gonna be major.
When they finally announced that,
if it don't,
I'll be shocked. I would be totally shocked if Shang-Chi does not do numbers.
Look, if it don't, it'll be like Sirius Jones battling James. Y'all got 1 billion people in China. You can't go platinum over there. No, what was you gonna say, Quinn?
I was saying that hurt him.
They are, like I said, Shang-Chi is gonna do numbers. Trust me. Like how Doctor Strange is gonna be the most important.
Yeah.
Shang-Chi is gonna be the biggest impact out of all the Marvel movies.
Well, because it's gonna swing at the right time too. Because with them kind of closing it up on the Marvel television stuff, you know, you're getting right back into that spot that Iron Fist was supposed to fill. Because remember, they were going to talk about bringing Shang-Chi into Iron Fist.
Yeah, you're
so
right.
now it's just like, oh, well, we can expand that and go bigger on it.
Yeah.
That's why Black Widow's going to be important too, because because even though she's technically alive in this movie, I think they're going to set up the new Black Widow.
Yeah,
and then it'll be interesting to see that post-credit scene. See,
and they're tying it. You know, it's going to tie in somehow. I don't know which way it's going to tie in somehow. I think Black Widow is very important.
Yeah,
some real shit.
Because it's a prequel. I know it's supposed to be whatever happened in Budapest, and
I think it's between
her and Hawkeye.
They say, I read that it took place around Civil War, after Civil War. Yeah, like when they went rogue. Remember, because the team split. And they went rogue.
So it looks like she went back to Russia, apparently.
Yeah, trying to hide from the government, from the McCords and shit.
And I think they're going to set up a new Black Widow in that movie, and then it'll be interesting to see how they connect. And all that. That's why the TV show's gonna be.
I do know that Iron Man is in it. I do know Nick Fury's in it. And I think Hawkeye's in it.
Yeah,
and that's dope. When they did a call back to Robert Downey Jr. and they said, "Yeah, my man gonna be in the motherfucking movie," I said, "That's what's up, man."
Yeah. He shot like a lot of his. He shot like most of his stuff already. That's gonna be in the rest of the MCU movie.
Yeah,
most of it's already been shot anyway.
See, I just only asked them, don't do my villains bad, because y'all got Taskmaster in there. I love Taskmaster, but if y'all do him like y'all did Crossbones, I
will say that DC got some better, on film. DC got better villains.
I wouldn't even say we do. I think that's been the issue with comic book movies in this recent iteration. I think you have some exceptions, like you have your Killmongers, you have your Thanoses, and all that. But generally, I think a lot of comic book movies get the villain wrong. And not just because that's half our name, but I really like villains. I think they're one of the best parts of comic books.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
DC has the best villains. Marvel has the best superheroes.
Yeah.
DC has the best villains.
Okay.
Bro, check out everybody's rogues gallery. Superman. Batman,
I know. I think
Flash.
DC has the best villain. That's not the part of
He think they had the best heroes too.
Oh wow!
I can't agree. We got to agree to disagree on that.
You got an insect hero. That's cool. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man. Y'all got one too. The Blue Beetle.
Like I said, we want to be invited back on here, man.
We do. Got bit by a radioactive spider.
Two syllables. Plastic man.
Hey man, that comes in handy. That comes. At least my fish hero can talk to fish.
I'm loving the. I'm loving the rivalry though, but man,
I mean, I respect certain DC heroes. I think Legion of Superheroes is one of the most slept on or underrated comics.
I've
always been a big Justice League fan, especially when J.M. DeMatteis and Keith Giffen were writing.
Oh yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
And on top of that, if not for DC, the animated stuff.
The animated shit is always on.
Y'all had now animation.
Y'all hands down. Y'all get the shit.
Well, you can say that's what Marvel got influenced by when you look at it. If you really,
we're creeping up though. We creeping. We coming on.
In the animation?
I will say this though.
Hey, what?
Spider-Verse
Hey, see,
no. That's a great movie. You know, you had one hot song. You had one hot song.
Every 10-year average.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. And you acting like you fronting on the X-Men back in 92.
Man, that thing was
You what?
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Your old crew, like, what?
I'm saying, all the Marvel
X-Men
TV shows were just except for, which is funny, I think Spider-Man was the dope because you got to see Madam Web and all that in it. So I think that was dope. But I think what happened with them was they didn't have the storytelling aspect in the animated. I think they just kind of jumped from storyline to storyline, where DC planned it out a little bit more. Kind of the same criticism we label against DC now. But
Nah, the X-Men 92 was continuing to follow different.
Look, Quinn over here wiggling in his seat, bro.
All right, bro. So let me educate you on this.
Okay, let me educate you on how you wrong.
Oh, wait a minute.
This
is some good shit.
We had these.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, look, in our podcast mashup, hold on, our conversation turned crew on crew. Like, what is going on
I feel
here?
strongly about DC animated. That's some of the best television.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna disagree on that.
Look, T in the middle looking like, what? Hey, where
But
is
here's
this
the
going?
thing, though. Like, 'cause I watched all of this stuff growing up, like religiously. I will say this because I found this out. Like, so Marvel got everybody that were writing for the Spider-Man show. They allowed them the access to the archives of all the Spider-Man stuff, every single plot, from each one of these stories. Now, Fox was like, "Hey, how are y'all gonna make this into a half-hour show?"
Mm-hmm.
So they had to combine all of that stuff. And I commend them for being able to do that shit with you're taking the Clone Saga and making that into 3 or 4 episodes, 30-minute episodes.
All I'm hearing is excuses.
Oh,
that's all I'm hearing.
Don't get twisted. DC animated, we're not gonna argue it. Only thing I'm just saying, dog, you know good damn well X-Men was not whack. I'll give you this. We did have a discussion. I still love X-Men. I'll watch it now, and I still think the stories in the cartoon still dope. Artwork didn't hold up. I'll give you that. I will give you the animation style didn't hold up because we had this discussion when we were talking about what's the better 90s show, Batman animated series or X-Men. And
Wait, well, if we talking about between those two, I would say Batman.
Batman, I would say Batman, yeah. But I get what you're saying about the animation style. I think they were going.
I think X-Men is still dope.
I think they were going.
X-Men 92.
Animation style. I think they were going for that G.I. Joe type feel.
Yeah,
the way it was. You know what I'm saying?
I think they still have probably
They had, matter of fact, because this was in the 90s, they still had 80s type style.
It was still Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends type.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So yeah,
all that DC animation still can't touch the X-Men intro. I said it.
Oh, what?
That's the best thing. When the best thing about is your intro. That's cool.
I mean, X-Men intro, it make the American look
no, not the theme song. Not the theme song. Hey.
But y'all arguing intros and theme songs. You know that, right?
But I'm just saying. No, because it started because you said X-Men trash. The whole X-Men was great, son. I don't know what the hell you talking about there.
All right, so
Villains and Vinyl, y'all.
Villains and Vinyls podcast. Y'all check them out. Make sure y'all check them out. So, I guess before we all get up out of here, we gonna go over our top 10 albums.
Yeah.
We'll start with CJ work,
Yeah, CJ, he was saying this probably one of the best years, and I agree with him totally as far as variety. So I definitely want to hear what bro got to say.
Okay, so my number 10 is.
So
now are there any particular order or just?
Okay, no problem. I'll give you.
No, I'm saying. I mean, if that's.
No, I just wrote it that way because I didn't know how y'all were gonna do it.
Okay.
But no, that's fine. It was 2 Chainz.
Okay.
I have Lost Boy by YBN Cordae.
Okay.
I have May the Lord Watch by Little Brother. Revenge of the Dreamers. Freddie Gibbs and Madlib is actually my favorite album, so that's my number 1.
Okay.
I have Kirk by The Baby. The Plugs I Met by Benny the Butcher.
Mm-hmm.
Eve by Rhapsody. My Ratchet pick of the year, which is I always pick a trap album.
He said my Ratchet pick of the year
is Slimeair. Slimeair is a collaboration album between Pierre and this other rapper, so I like that. Then I have Everything's for Sale by Boogie. And then my final answer is, my final one is Zoo by Denzel Curry.
Okay. That Boogie album, I wouldn't say I slept on it because I love that album. But damn, that shit didn't. I guess I would put that in my honorable mentions.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'll put that in my honorable mentions. T?
I'm gonna run real quick because I gotta run out to Little Brother football game, but no order. I had the Boogie album, of course.
Okay.
I actually put Dave East was my number 10 because I had to go back. Like I said, there's something about it where I can't say he's all that, but I just kept listening.
Right.
Believe it or not, I guess it was my guilty pleasure because I guess it was so sample heavy, and I hate to admit this. I like the DJ Khaled album just because it was so sample. Eric gave me the 90s feel, so a lot of time I had more fun. Even if I didn't like the song, like, oh, that's that sample, sample.
True.
Eve was my number 1 album by Rhapsody. I'm sorry, I'm biased. I told you that. That was my album of the year, and maybe because I went to school with her, she let me be in the video. It was whatever. That's the homie. Got to go with her. Freddie Gibbs is up there. Freddie Gibbs, Mad Lib joint. 2 Chainz, Playball, 2 Chainz albums up there because I was, like you said earlier, 2 Chainz, and people don't give 2 Chainz enough credit.
Yeah.
I got the, what's my man name? IBN Corday was the other album for me. I also, Dreamville.
Okay.
Earth Gang.
Okay.
And I'll round it out even though I was a little disappointed with him. No, I ain't gonna put him on there. Big Crit over Schoolboy Q's album.
Okay. Big Crit. Yeah, his album, well, the Crit is here. Yeah. That joint, That joint goes. Quinn?
Alright, see, I ain't gonna do the top 10. I'm gonna do one that surprised the hell out of me because earlier I wanted to get into it, but Port of Miami 2. Like, Port of Miami 2, like...
Alright. Oh, now I was gonna say, you can say your piece, yeah.
I'm sorry, I run out of I ain't mean to cut y'all out, but I know they gonna hold it down. This is Terrence, Johnny Storm. I love thank y'all for being here.
Alright,
bro.
Be right back.
Alright, but no, like, jumping back in on it. Port of Miami 2. I had no expectations about, like, where he was gonna go with, like, this album. Because, like I said, I wasn't really feeling Rick Ross. But I did listen to it, and I actually liked it. So, for all y'all people who know how I feel about Rick Ross, I actually like Port of Miami 2.
Okay.
I had to end the decade with admitting I was wrong about something.
All right, Rick.
Since we're going in the order, I'm just gonna say how I listed it. Obviously, Bandana was my album of the year. But I also got May the Lord Watch, The Plugs I Met, Benny the Butcher, one of the best yet by Gangstar. I always had them as my best hip hop duo ever because they never had a bad album. Some were better than others, but I was never mad that I spent money on a Gangstar album ever. I got Eve, of course, by Rhapsody, Lost Boy, YBN Corday. I got Quell Chris, Guns.
I haven't heard that yet.
You haven't heard that yet? Oh,
nah,
my goodness,
I heard
bro.
it. Yeah, I mean, it's ending up on a lot of people's lists this year.
I don't know if a lot of people even heard his album Vernia by Eric Sermon.
That's in my. That's in my.
Like, fucking love Eric Sermon.
You know what I'm saying? I had heard Eric Sermon in years.
Yeah.
That's in my honorable mention.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's in my honorable mention.
I got Clear Soul Forces still.
And
Richard Politan with Pete Rock and Sky Zoo surprised me.
See that one right there, like somebody had recommended that to me because we were talking about like Pete Rock. How it's straight fire.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hearing Pete Rock say some of the beats are old, and Sky Zoo just jumped on him and just did his thing.
Well, Skyzoo's dope though, so I can see that.
Yeah, because I'm running through like a bunch of my playlists. Like, 'cause that's the thing. Like, I narrow it down to like each month what what I'm definitely gonna like listen to on repeat, and there's a lot of like stuff that just kind of makes the cut. But I really so I'm gonna have to check that one out.
And my my honorable mention goes to Trill Stack. Bun B and Static Selector.
Okay.
Oh, I haven't heard that one.
Oh man, they did. I
heard that. I heard
the album.
It's crazy.
They were creating the album. Caps were just coming in.
Yeah, they did it live. They recorded the album live. I forgot all about that. There's so much shit that goes down in a year. Like I forgot all about that shit. That's crazy. That's crazy.
It was the concept to me, that's definitely what helped me appreciate the album itself, was how they put it together. And I believe it's on YouTube still. I don't think they took it down or anything.
The video
like
of
that.
them actually doing the album.
Yeah, because that's the cool thing right there that I really like too. Because Dreamville, remember they did a documentary about how they put the album together.
Yeah,
and it's good that artists are starting to do that more, and that's the benefit of the internet too.
Yeah,
because you can get that stuff out quick.
That made my honorable mentions to Revenge of the Dreamers. The only thing, well, not the only thing, but the best thing I thought was on Revenge of the Dreamers was it showed me that the baby could really rap. He was on them beats, and you know he couldn't those kind of beats. He couldn't do the trap thing and all that. He showed me that he could really rap.
Yeah, I love Revenge of the Dreamers.
Yeah, that's
top 3 album for me. So, but yeah, that's what's up, man.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's some good company you got right there. Claudius had sent me his top 10. And shout out to Claudius, squad member of Hip Hop Marvels. Shout out to Claudius and his podcast, Epic Briefs podcast. His list goes Gangstar, one of the best yet. Number 2, Little Brother, May the Lord Watch. Number 3, Tyler the Creator, Igor. I'm laughing at his number 4 because he got Cameron, Purple Haze 2. He said, and he put in parentheses, calling it early. Number 5, The Game, Born to Rap. Number 6, Ghostface Killer, Ghostface Killers. Number 7, Inspector Deck. Number 9,
Chamber number 9. Yeah.
Number 8, Styles P, SP the GOAT. Ghost of All Time. Number 9, Styles P, Presence. Yes, let's not forget Styles P was dropping like a motherfucker this year.
Yeah, you dropped like 4 albums.
Okay.
Number 10, Nas, Lost Tapes 2.
I forgot about Lost Tapes 2.
And his honorable mentions are Jim Jones, El Capo, and King Crooked and Bronze Nazareth, Gravitas.
I forgot about that El Capo.
I haven't heard the El Capo. I heard it's very Griselda-ish.
Yeah.
I listened to a little bit of it. I'm not all the way through it, but because Jim Jones never really hit with me like that. But I was like, all right, I'll try. Cause my homeboy was
balling.
That was it.
That's how I felt about Lost Tapes too, though. It didn't really.
Wow, that's in my. Let me get to my list real quick. Okay, so my list goes as follows. My all-time Bandana.
Yeah.
For this year, all-time Bandana, hands down. Number 2, May the Lord Watch, Little Brother.
Okay, we got back-to-back right there.
Number 3, Eve, Rhapsody. Number 4, YB and Cordae, Lost Boy. Number 5, Wale, Wow, That's Crazy. That album,
I did not hear that.
That album is dope.
I didn't know he even had anything out, to be honest
yes.
with you.
Wow, That's Crazy. Album is dope. He got one of the top radio smashes this year. With that, what is it? Just Chill or Let's Chill?
See, I don't even listen to the radio like that.
But I don't either. But I know. I mean, shit, it's in rotation like a motherfucker.
Wow.
Number 6, What Would Machine Gun Do?
Okay. Okay.
That's Griselda.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Number 7, Dreamers 3, Dreamville. Number 8, The Plugs I Met.
Benny the Butcher.
Yeah.
Benny the Butcher. Number 9, Lord of the Fly. Last Emperor. The Last Emperor. Lord of the Fly.
Sure.
Y'all familiar with Lord? Last Emperor?
A little bit. I'm not gonna claim to be an expert on Lord.
I mean, I know you heard Secret Wars.
I've heard Secret Wars.
The track he put out, Secret Wars, like a while back. When he's like, when he's like putting superheroes up against MCs.
Yeah, no, I did. I actually, remember, I introduced you.
Yeah, because you put me on.
Yeah.
Damn, I am way behind. See, that's the problem with all this stuff coming out.
Yeah, so Lord of the Fly by Last Emperor, and my number 10 is one of the best yet, Gangstar. Now, my honorable mention, Nas Lost Tapes, Skyzoo and Pete Rock, Retropolitan, Eric Sermon, Vernia, The Game, Born to Rap, and Dime Piece 2 by Diamond D.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
So yeah, those are our top picks for this year. I mean, they're our opinions.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be screaming at the your speaker right now, or screaming at your phone like, no, y'all forgot this and y'all forgot that.
Please comment. Let us hear it.
Please comment. Let us know your top 10 for this year.
Yeah,
you know what I
exactly.
mean? There's a lot of stuff we may have forgot or like, didn't put on.
I'm hearing some of these Quentin and them. I'm just like, I'm hearing stuff. I'm like, I didn't even hear that.
Yeah, and then see, that's the joy of it.
Yeah,
that's the joy of it because like there's some joints that flew, like you said, Quell Chris, like, and I've been seeing that. I haven't paid attention to it, and now I'm gonna go back and give it a listen.
He grew on me. Quell Chris grew on me through the years. I wasn't like really feeling him at first. I thought he was like maybe too abstract, too esoteric, and then I started like, I'm like, okay, I think his beats started being better to me. He started getting better production.
Right. So yeah, those are the top 10. Like I said, let us know what you think. You can add us on Twitter or on Instagram. Also, email us at hiphopmarvels@gmail.com. Let us know yours, and if it's a dope ass list, man, we'll give it a shout out the next episode.
Yeah, we'll make a few comments on it.
Yeah, but yeah, man, I mean, it's been a pretty productive episode. Don't you think?
Oh yeah, I mean, I like to thank our guests first.
Man.
Personally.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all coming through.
Thank you for even inviting us. We appreciate that.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate
y'all can say this is the crossover to end crossovers right here.
Hey, word. For real, man. I mean, and this was inevitable, and this is, what I'm saying, long overdue, but I've been rocking with T. It's crazy because we kind of met on accident. I came to Durham in 2016, and 2017 I went to the NC Comic Con in Raleigh. And I guess he was there because on my Facebook I was putting out that I was there. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden I got a friend request. I'm like, oh, he's in Durham. And he had pictures up from there. I'm like, oh, this nigga was there and shit. So, we started connecting through Facebook and everything. So, and then that's how I found out about you guys and the podcast and all of that. So, but yeah, I appreciate y'all coming through. Hey. We got to do this again.
Next time y'all come.
Next time we come. Next time we got to go to.
Yeah, we're going to cross over there. We're going to cross over right there. And,
you know what I'm
saying?
Probably do a look ahead to 2020. See what albums you want to hear drop.
Yeah.
So we'll have the Danger Room ready.
Oh, okay. See, that's crazy because I've been telling him I've been telling Rick we had to come up with a Marvel type room name or whatever.
Yeah.
And they got the Danger Room. We got to come up with something.
I was thinking about the Baxter Building, but
the Baxter Building. I like that.
I
like the Baxter Building. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? But we'll work on that. We'll work on that.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Definitely want to do our hip hop. Did you know?
Yeah. Go ahead, bless us with that real quick.
Of course, you guys are familiar with Goody Mob, right?
Yeah.
Who was the original lineup for the Goody Mob? As you know, it was not the original lineup.
Oh no, I'm not even gonna pretend. No, I ain't gonna try to fake you.
Quentin like he knows something. Like he knows something.
CeeLo was a part of it, right?
No.
No.
Not originally. No.
Oh,
I ain't gonna act like I know.
He said I ain't got that.
I'm trying not to get them confused because there was the Dungeon family too.
They're part of the Dungeon family.
Okay.
The overall collective. Outcast is, Dungeon family. It's all about the overall. Don't be Googling nothing, bruh.
No,
I'm not even.
Go ahead and drop it.
The original lineup of the Goody Mob was Timo and Cujo were there.
Okay.
But the other two members were Backbone and the Witch Doctor.
Wait, Witch Doctor? Oh, shit.
Originally, he was Goody Mob. Originally, Backbone was Goody Mob. Big Git was in another group called East Point Chain Gang with Cool Breeze and a couple other cats.
God damn it! Now I'm mad at myself because I knew this.
CeeLo was actually a part of Outkast.
Mm-hmm.
This is back when he was just singing. Didn't nobody know he could rap but Outkast. So when they all converted to the Dungeon and were doing different things, they're like, okay, CeeLo, you sound better with these dudes.
We're gonna put you here and you here.
And Big Gip, pretty much. Him and Cool Breeze came over from the East Point Chain Gang and got down with them. Okay, Gip, we're gonna fill you in at this spot. They had formed the Goody Mob in college. Timo, Cujo, Backbone, and the Witch Doctor. Timo and Cujo left, became the Lumberjacks. And went back home. Backbone and Witch Doctor stayed in school, graduated. And when they came home, they became part of the Dungeon fam, but they were just solo then. But yes, that was the original lineup of the Goody Mob. Timo, Cujo, Backbone, and the Witch Doctor.
And it goes back to, the South be putting out some talent.
Mm-hmm.
Because Goody Mob, that group kept evolving, and Dungeon Family, Outkast spun off, and then
I thought what they did was they showed that, outside of the Ghetto Boys, they showed somebody down south could really rap.
Yeah.
Could really rap. Lyrically speaking, they definitely stepped up for the South. I mean, you had pockets here and there, Lords of the Underground and all them are not really from North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? They just went to school here or had family here or whatever. Lords of the Underground, Entice, Ski Beats, cats like that. But, as far as being born and raised down here, that's what it is.
Yeah, there it is. The hip hop did you know?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So, but anything y'all would like to put out there? Plug?
Yeah. How can people get in touch with you?
How can people contact y'all?
Villains and Vinyl at Villains and Vinyl on Instagram. We are also on iTunes as well, so you can catch us there. We're working on getting on Spotify. Then we have our own. Coming up next week, we're going to be recording the top 10 comic book story arcs of the year. So we're working on that, and then we're going to do a look ahead to 2020. Next event we're probably going to do is a collaboration at Oak City with another podcast about Black Lightning.
Okay.
And then we're going to try to bring Contest of Champions to BlurredCon.
Can we talk about that?
I'm saying we're going to try. That's the only thing we can say for right now is that we're going to be trying to take the Contest of Champions to BlurredCon in Washington, D.C.
Bigger and better.
Dope. Yeah. We're working on a Hip Hop Marvels panel for BlurredCon too.
So,
talking about the history and the
definitely the perfect place.
Yeah, man. PowerPoint presentation and shit.
That'll be our first
mini
one.
Class, yeah. It's gonna be like a mini.
Is this your first time going to BlurredCon?
Yes, indeed.
Oh,
I cannot wait.
We can talk offline about that.
Yeah, we had to.
We ain't gonna incriminate ourselves.
When I saw the video at Comic-Con,
man, I said
was
we
like,
going.
yo.
Like we are going. Like for real. So.
Never heard of it before. Never heard. I haven't heard of it.
I've heard of it. I've heard of it, and actually I reached out. Like when he started the first year, I reached out to him and shout out to Hilton. Yeah, shout out to Hilton. I reached out to him when he first started it, and he was like digging what we were doing with the Hip Hop Marvels and shit. But somehow that never took off because I was in the process of moving here too, also. So it's dope. It was dope to see him at this past NC Comic-Con, and when we saw that video, I was like, yo, we're in the building for show.
We is in there
for show.
Beautiful time.
But yeah, man, like I said, we thank y'all for coming through.
Word.
Yeah, we got to do this again. This is the our first mashup to end the year off, year-end recap / review.
Great year for hip hop. Best year for hip hop in a long time.
Yeah, best year for hip hop. You can hit us up on Twitter and Instagram at Hip Hop Marvels. On Facebook, Hip Hop Marvels, all one word. We're streaming on multiple podcast platforms and apps. Just Spotify, that's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher.
Holla at us.
Yeah, holla at us.
There's no reason why you can't. There's no way you can't.
Leave a comment, subscribe. New Year's coming. Like I said, season 2 of the Hip Hop Marvels podcast. Dope content. We got a lot in store. So just stick with us and stay tuned. And like always, we got it locked from the block to the comic shop. I'm DJ Dub Floyd.
Rick 0378.
Remember to stay marvelous. Peace.
Peace.